Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I will talk about our project, which is Financial Expenses Tracker. So before we start, let me introduce my group members. First, my name, Muhammad Faris Daniel bin Muhammad Fauzi. Second is Harid Hakimi bin Muhammad Fauzi. And the last one is Adik Farhan bin Zainuddin. So now I will talk about the summary of our project. The Financial Expenses Tracker offers a variety of features. First, it allows users to track and monitor spending to prevent overspending. Second, it also can enable users categorize expenses such as food, transport, entertainment, and others. And the last one, Financial Expenses Tracker also have ability to generate comprehensive monthly. Next, benefit of Financial Expenses Tracker. First, it can improve decision making regarding money management. Second, it can support for achieving economic independence. So now we move to the objective of our project. The first one is address improper spending habit by focusing on specific areas such as food, education, and transport. Next, it is encourage financial awareness by helping students identify unnecessary expenses and adopt wiser spending habit. And the last one is equip students with budgeting skills that they can use not only during their student life but also after graduations.
For next part is analysis. For the input, the program will ask for the number of students, which is n, name, budget, amount expenses for each category. Next is process. The program will calculate total expenses, determine highest and lowest expenses, balance, and determine either good spending or overspend. Lastly, output. The program will display all the input, total expenses, highest, lowest, balance, message good spending or overspend, and lastly the total sum expenses of n student. Next, design algorithm, which is flowchart and pseudocode. First, program will ask for n, which is number of students, and declare array name total with size of n. It will start the looping using for loop. In the loop, program will ask for name, expenses for each category, and it will process to get the maximum and minimum. It also calculate total, sum, and balance. Program will display the output, and if total is less than budget, it will display message good spending. If S, it will display message overspend. It will looping until I is bigger than n. And lastly, the program will display some expenses of n student.
So the next thing I want to talk about is the source code. First thing, we use the n to declare the size of the array. So this is the input and output variable. Next, the program will ask the user to declare the size of the array. And then the program will run the loop. For each loop, the report will be displayed with the respective message, whether it is good spending or overspend. Next, I will run the program. So for the code, the first thing it will ask you is the how many students you want to put. So in this case, I'll put 2. And then, for example, I'll put my name, Adi. And then the budget is around 1,000 ringgit. And then the FMB, which is for food and beverage, maybe 300 ringgit. The bills, like 50 ringgit. Then the transport, 50 ringgit also. Education is for 50 ringgit also. Other expenses is 200 ringgit. And also the savings is 200 ringgit. So for the expenses report, it will say that my highest expenses is food and beverage, and also the bills is the lowest expenses with the balance of 150 ringgit, and the display message is display good spending for the overspend. So we put, for example, Daniel, and the budget is around 1,000 also. The FMB we put a lot, 400 ringgit. Bills is 50 ringgit. And then the transport is 50 ringgit also. And then the education is also 50 ringgit. And then the other expenses we put 300 ringgit. And then the savings we put 200 ringgit. And then we can see that the higher expenses is food and beverage. And then the lowest expenses is bills. And then the balance will display 0, and it will display the message overspend. So the lastly, we can see at the bottom there, it calculates all the sum with the total expenses for 2 students is 1900 ringgit. That's all from me. Thank you.